coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
This weekend will mark 2 years since an EF-3 tornado made its way through Jefferson City, causing significant damage. While attempting to rebuild, the capital city has faced many obstacles. Good evening, I'm Noah Klein. Thanks for joining us. In this KOMU 8 News special report, Catherine Merck spent the week in Jefferson City talking to those affected. She joins us live at one business who experienced some of the heaviest tornado damage. Catherine.
This is Riley's Chevrolet. The cars are all lined up now, but after the tornado, it looked like this. Now the business has made a giant move forward on the road to recovery. 2 years later, it's time to reflect.
And the National Weather Service calling it a violent tornado with catastrophic damage.
Emergency responders have been working to find and rescue people who are trapped and hurt after a tornado hit Jefferson City.
They're talking about going door to door with the police, and Task Force 1 as well as FEMA have joined in the local agencies in that effort.
You all need to be in your safe location now, lowest level of your home, the most interiorized room.
We've seen some heavy debris. We've seen some downed power lines, not just the lines, but the actual wooden beams themselves.
It is an all hands on deck situation.
That night, that was, it's the night that you never think will happen to you.
Jefferson City faced destruction after the 2019 tornado.
I mean, it was the night that you see other mayors on TV and you hear the disasters they all go through in their communities, and you never think that's going to be you.
Some of the aftermath's most iconic images came from this site. Riley Chevrolet. The tornado uprooted and upended the 85-year-old family business.
My grandfather started the Chevrolet agency in Jefferson City in 1936. His place just got destroyed. The next day, we really got to see how bad it was here. Total destruction of our service department. 770 plus vehicles totaled out. Once Mother Nature decided to get some sun up in the air, it was something else.
It was just a feeling of disbelief.
It was a sight to see.
High winds and violent rain damaged Community Christian Church.
There was glass everywhere, and I'm talking about little shards of glass that were all over the carpet. There was tree limbs in the front part of the church. There was metal that came off of the canopies.
Started thinking about the community and how many people got hurt.
The road to recovery has been complicated.
Then we had a GM parts strike, which was huge. Made it tough on our service department getting parts for people that needed their vehicles worked on. And then we moved into the pandemic. We had a huge hailstorm. And as you remember, down here, baseball size hail.
2 years later, there's been some time to rebuild. The entire community has come together to repair what was lost. Missouri United Way helped bring those people together.
We sent all the volunteers there, and they were able to instruct them on what volunteerism was going to look like, and they put them in small groups and took them out with a leader to start debris removal.
So I think that our community truly experienced a miracle.
Have you heard?
Riley reopened this week.
Is moving back to 2033 Christie Drive, and
it rebuilt at the same location.
Looking back, and now being here with our new building up and rolling, that is a huge improvement.
The church also renewed. Members will have a ceremony 2 years after they discovered the damage.
It's a burden off of my shoulders.
The city's learning how to adapt to the unthinkable.
That's what we do in Jefferson City. That is what our community is like. We help each other out, and that's just how we do it.
It's in our rearview mirror.
Uprooted, upended, now up and running. A rebuild that reflects the city itself. Events are planned this weekend to commemorate the progress the city has made over the past 2 years. More information on those events is available on our website at KOMU.com. I want to bring in KOMU 8's Chief Meteorologist Kenton Jowicki here. Kenton was there through the night of May 22nd, 2019 into the early morning of May 23rd. Kenton, this is one of the biggest storms our viewing area has seen in years. What was it like to be there that night?
Yeah, it was seeing some of those images and hearing some of that video back really has my heart pounding again. I'm kind of back in that night already 2 years ago. It was certainly a very long night. Of course, we were on the air from about 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Luckily, we had a great forecast for it. We were able to track it from Eldon all the way to Jefferson City, gave about 40 minutes of advance notice to Jefferson City. There were no deaths that night in Jefferson City. Also, just again, fantastic that even though there was that damage, lives were actually not taken that night from that tornado. So some good news, at least, out of just, again, an event that isn't necessarily uncommon in Missouri, but of course is very sad when we actually see that come to fruition. On satellite and radar right now, though,